Hello, friends, and welcome again to Life with Mona. So this week, as we said, we are talking about single motherhood. And with me today, I have Cynthia Otieno, who is a relationship and woman-to-woman coach. Cynthia, I really like that. I don't think I've had that before, is that the woman-to-woman coach. So tell us a little bit more about what you do specifically.
Oh, thank you for having me here. I'm so excited to be part of this show. I'm a relationship coach, so I'm interested in not just the relationship that the woman has, but also the woman herself.
Yeah.
I've written a little book called The Diva Spark. That
The Diva Spark.
The Diva Spark,
Okay,
which is an
I like
acronym,
that.
helping the woman understand her origin, what's her destined purpose, helping her understand her roles, help her understand who she is and celebrating her femininity and her womanhood, and sparking into the world what God has actually put in her. Yes.
And are you speaking to women of all ages, or is there like a specific age group you're looking at?
This is very specific to the woman who's between the age of 25 and 50.
So that's when now she's like discovering who she is and then acting on that.
She's already gone through a couple of things that possibly she has begun to contend with.
Okay.
She has her inhibitions and possibly some things that have labeled her a certain way. And when she gets into this class or encounters my book, she's going to ask herself some very critical questions as in, who am I? Who am I becoming? What is my legacy?
And you said this is a 12-week, I think we're talking earlier, you said it's a 12-week process.
It's a 12-week program that the woman has to go through. Midweek, on the 6th week, we have something called Facing My Personal Giants. Let me tell you, we all have some amazing giants that we've had to contend with. And that can be fear, that can be anything.
Shame.
Shame. And even cultural norms, religion. And so we get to face our personal giants so that we can be able to strip off the masks that we boldly wear and be able to be authentic and real. That the world is looking for an authentic woman launching out, doing what she's supposed to be doing.
I like that. Okay, so borrowing from that and coming into our topic today, which is we're talking about being a single mother.
Yes,
and
that topic.
Good. And I think you're the right person to talk to about it. And in my introduction, which I did this week, I was talking about how a lot of single mothers are taught how to be a mother. In other words, how to take care of the baby. But not a lot of them are taught how to take care of themselves. You know, so I want us to start right from the very beginning. And I'm talking specifically about unplanned. Let's start with unplanned pregnancies first, before we go into single mothers who become single mothers once a child has been born. Then they unexpectedly become a single mother. So let's start with the unplanned pregnancies. Okay, so there's a girl, woman, whatever age she is, whether she's 18 or 25 or 40, and she finds herself in a situation where she gets pregnant. Okay, and there's different scenarios which I want us to touch on. There's you're pregnant with a one-night stand. You're pregnant with a hookup, a casual hookup. You're pregnant with maybe the guy is married. Or you're pregnant with a boyfriend. Whatever it is, it's unplanned. So right from the beginning, what are the steps she should take?
One thing that we've got to actually help this woman understand is that every sexual encounter is actually, unless it's a rape, it's going to be a planned session. It's going to be something that we have planned. So bear in mind that in every sexual encounter, there is a possibility. The probability of you becoming pregnant is going to be there. So give yourself that, that freedom of knowing that there might be a child. So that then when we're talking of unplanned pregnancy, there was a planned encounter. But then the fact that the consequence of this planning resulted in a baby.
It's interesting what you're saying, because I've been telling everybody this because I found it really interesting. I read a meme the other day that said 100% of unplanned pregnancies are a man's responsibility.
Are a man's responsibility.
In other words, what they were saying is a lot of the time we're talking to women, how is it that you got pregnant? You know, what were you doing? Were you not using protection? What were you? And men are sort of like just left out of this conversation where she got pregnant because she was with somebody 99% of the time. We have the other, you know, artificial insemination and other things like that. But 99% of the time a man was involved, correct?
And I like what you're saying is that in this encounter, there are two people who have planned it. Meaning that even by the time the man releases himself, he has also the responsibility of knowing that a release has almost, is it over 6 million?
Yeah, there are many.
There are very many. And all of them have the responsibility of becoming a child.
That's their job.
That's their agenda. They were created to do what they were supposed to do. Once you release, their probability is exactly. So these are two very strong human beings who have the responsibility to bear the consequences of what happens. Now, what we are talking about, so we've dealt with the fact that there's a responsibility.
There's a responsibility.
And there's ownership. Because if I don't start with owning whatever we did,
everybody's like,
then who will take responsibility? So both of us, the man bears responsibility, the woman bears responsibility. So now what happens when I become pregnant? This child that is 2 days old, or even 1 week old, did not apply a job called child. They did not apply for a job. They did not. You understand? So what is very critical and important for us is that we need to be able to own the process, own the responsibility and say, what judgment am I going to put on somebody who did not apply to be my child?
What about the judgment we put on ourselves? Supposing whether it's because you didn't use protection or you did and it failed, and you know, there's all these different things that you have to deal with, and you're holding a life. How do you go beyond that, the self-judgment? Or is it necessary to have the self-judgment?
I think it's important to have this self-conversation.
Conversation.
It's a conversation. It's because of course there's judgment, there's going to be societal pressure, there's going to be family pressure, there's going to be religion, the church or whatever culture. Maybe there's going to be a little detour for 6 months, I mean for 9 months, that may require me to incubate for a moment, but that does not change my purpose, does not change my destiny, does not change who I am. Do you understand that?
That is very powerful.
Yes.
I want to be a bit specific. So let's take, for instance, a girl who is a woman who is, let's say, 29. And she's with a married guy. And she gets pregnant with this guy. And you're saying it does not change what her purpose is.
It doesn't change.
What if her purpose was something where people look up to her? What if she was a leader in a church, for instance? You know, how does she still get through this and go back to what her purpose was?
That's a really, really good question, because they are societal responsibilities that you've been placed under that will be consequences. There may be consequences of the fact that you've been a leader, but that does not change the fact that I went ahead and slept with a married man, and the consequences is as a child. I need to ask myself some very deep down questions and say, do I want to raise this child? And do I want to bring them up in a manner that is befitting the child who did not apply to be here? And then I usually ask myself, Mona, this question. And for a woman who took a while getting a child, I know beyond a shadow of doubt that every instance that a baby comes is a gift.
When she's making a decision on whether to keep this child or not, what should inform somebody in a situation where keeping the child is not ideal? For whatever number of circumstances, what would you tell her?
First of all, I would want to. She's pregnant right now. I would love for her to be at a place where she's emotionally, physically, and mentally stable. Well. Okay? Because there's certain decisions you cannot make when you're under duress.
That's true.
When you are still suffering from the trauma of whatever happened between the two of you. So is this woman in a space where she's psychologically, mentally, and physically well?
Getting well would take how long?
Getting well, it's woman to woman. I mean, every woman is different. Some will take years. Some will take a couple of months. So every woman is different. And I would say, pace yourself based on
who you are.
So
speaking specifically now about when you're in a relationship with somebody, a man who is not going to be there for you.
He has actually told you, I'm not going to be there.
First of all, before he even tells you that, how do you break the news to him?
Honey, guess
Apart from
what?
taking a selfie and
do you know
I drawing an arrow.
I saw a very interesting on social media where the lady broke the news. She opened the oven and she had a little bun. You know, like.
And he didn't get it, did he?
He didn't get it.
Of course, he
there's a
wouldn't
bun
get
in
it.
the oven.
Yeah, he's like,
So-
"What, we're having cake for dinner?"
So apart from actually trying to be funny, there are different ways. If I was comfortable enough to roll in the sack with you, you know, we might as well bring it out.
Yes,
as we are having a cup
open.
of tea. By the way, I missed my period. Or by the way, I just came from the doctor. Here is the evidence that you were pretty good at what you did.
Your swimmers can swim. I'm telling you.
They are marathon runners. So bring it to your boyfriend or whoever it is in a manner, you know, by the time you have had a relationship with a man,
you kind of understand.
You know,
them.
you kind of understand how to break what needs to be broken in a manner that is befitting, that is respectful for yourself, but also for him.
Yeah.
And be as real and as candid as possible. That's what I would say.
Okay. So you've told him, and he's like, no.
Yeah.
I'm not a part of this story. However he says it, whether it's respectfully or disrespectfully, because again, men are different.
Yeah.
But basically he's telling you, I am not going to be in this story.
Yeah. If he does a 90-degree on you.
Exactly, because that also happens.
It's
correct?
It can happen.
Yes,
it
that
will
also
happen.
happens.
And what we need to let this woman know, that all is not lost.
Okay.
All is not lost.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. You break the news and the man takes off, or he even, whatever the situation is, it's important for the woman to, of course, there will be disappointment. She'll go through even the steps of grief, because this is grief. You will grieve the relationship, grieve the fact that maybe I wanted to have
something,
a person there with me through the process. And you can imagine, even when you have a child, and even the breaking of the news, there's a
vulnerability.
A vulnerability.
Yes.
The fact that you're thinking in terms of,
and you're thinking of a double rejection also, isn't it? Because you're thinking of me and of
the child.
This baby. Yes.
So it's important that the woman realizes very quickly that it's not about you.
Because let me tell you, Cynthia, I've heard stories of even, I know people personally who had talked about this with their partner.
Yeah.
You know, and they had agreed, and they both knew that we are trying to have a baby, and the baby comes and the man was like, hey, me, I didn't know that could happen. You know, so how does, I know you say like the most important thing is for somebody to know that it's not over. Yeah. But at the same time, being a mother who is stressed will also just stress your whole baby, isn't it?
You know, the thing is that you'd rather be stressed for a season than stressed for a lifetime.
Wow, that's powerful.
You'd rather be stressed for a season. Yeah. I'd rather be stressed than have a lifetime of
somebody who doesn't want to be
a reminder of pain.
That's true.
A reminder that I was rejected. Yes. Because you've seen families and you've seen situations where this person is present, but
they're not there.
Present.
They're just there to tick the box.
Exactly. And you know, they say this very candidly, that it's easy to be a father, but not a dad. There's something very powerful that you said a little bit earlier about how when in your 20s, you really didn't want a child.
About the introduction.
Yes,
the monologues. Yeah.
The monologues, that it was actually a very powerful conversation, because you were saying that in your 20s, you really didn't you didn't plan a child, you didn't think a child, you were not
horrified.
You were horrified.
Yes.
And you were very vocal about it, because that's where the space, emotional space that you are in.
Yeah.
And so this is in your 20s and your 30s. Yeah. Now you're 40, you're emotionally able, and you feel that you're emotionally stable to be able to carry that responsibility in a manner that is befitting, that is purposeful. Now, this is exactly
powerful, Cynthia. That is
Thank
so
you.
Powerful.
So that means that this woman, even in the midst of everything that she has had to go through, she will, if the rejection has happened, then it means if one rejection has happened, a second rejection is not needful. Let's go ahead and take responsibility.
Wait, I'm going to stop you.
Yes.
And just repeat that, because I think it is so strong.
Yeah.
You said a rejection has happened.
Yes.
A second one
is not needful.
Necessary.
It's not necessary. And it's for me, because I have 9 months to intentionally learn how to take on this new role that right now, it doesn't seem possible, but I can emotionally prepare. I can intentionally prepare and bring on the right people that will play the needful role that will support this coming child. Now, at the same time, if this woman decides to make the decision that, you know what, I want to bring this child into this world, but I do not want to bear the responsibility of
being a mother.
Being a mother.
Okay. After that,
let me tell you something. I celebrate you.
Okay.
I would say, woman, I celebrate you because you've carried this child for 9 months. And if you feel that you do not have the capability and the ability, there are different options that are available for you.
What are her options?
Adoption.
So even if you look, because a lot of the time women, you know, we look far. So even if you're saying, I cannot see myself 18, 25 years in this situation, you're telling that person, take 9 months.
Just 9 months.
Give 9 months.
9 months.
Yes.
9 months where you say that I will be part of the role of creation. Let me eat well, let me be well. That this child, whoever this child will become, they will know that this mother loved them enough to bring them to life. And then passed on the responsibility to somebody else. Can you imagine how you can be loved by two people at the same time?
True.
I loved you enough to carry you for 9 months.
Despite
I loved
you
enough and made the choice to give you to somebody else, because at that point in time I was only 18 years old. I needed to go back to school, or I needed to do whatever it is. And I've seen that's the best of both worlds.